I swear by Apollo and all gods and goddesses, taking them as witnesses, to perform my duties as a physician honestly in accordance with my capabilities and my understanding. These are the words from the oath of Hippocrates. Happy is the physician who, following this oath, has healed scores and hundreds of patients. But what if the count runs into millions? Yes, indeed, millions of people can acquire normal vision thanks to the famous ophthalmologist, Professor Svyatoslav Fyodorov.
На современного человека обрушилось огромный поток информации. Наше время даже называется информационным.
Our present time is called the information stage in mankind's development. Billions of people are in need of all kinds of eye operations. But how is this to be done? I think this should be done the way we did it. All the new surgical techniques, new technologies that we develop here should be disseminated through the branches of our clinic that are equipped with the same instruments and serviced by the same physicians. Today, we are completing the construction of 12 such centers in the Soviet Union, and we are starting to build 4 more abroad. Beautiful eyes for everyone. This is not only the motto, but a specific program, the implementation of which has taken Professor Fyodorov decades, beginning with that now far-off day when his first patient experienced that unforgettable feeling of seeing the light of day. Beginning with a struggle to gain recognition for his first artificial crystalline lenses, which then became the best of similar models. Yet, a whole complex of ideas and solutions were required before the count went into the millions, so that people from all over the world converged at the Eye Microsurgery Institute in Moscow, headed by Professor Fyodorov. It implies the creation of ophthalmology of the 21st century, the development and practical implementation of unique surgical treatment for practically all eye diseases, including correction of the most widespread defects of vision. Several light radial incisions slightly change the curvature of the cornea, and the person will totally get rid of myopia or short-sightedness forever. Fyodorov's institute was the first in the world to employ thermocoagulation as a method for correcting long-sightedness. After painless microburns are made on the cornea, it becomes slightly more convex, and this is quite enough for restoring the wonderful gift of vision. The dot burns quickly heal and disappear. The laser has become a universal and efficient surgical instrument. It cauterizes tissue, fuses the retina, and is used for treating glaucoma. It has enabled ophthalmologists to discover new vistas. And this laser already has replaced the scalpel. It evaporates tissue and gives the cornea the previously calculated form. The next stage is computer diagnostics. All the information needed about the eye disease and condition of the patient. Of course, this tomograph sees more than the most experienced diagnosing expert. The most up-to-date materials are used in practical work. The coating for intraocular lenses today blocks out ultraviolet rays, protecting the retina. The new level of treatment has required the creation of special packages of program for all types of operations. Now the computer gives the physician not only the precise diagnosis, but also the optimal pattern for surgery. At the same time, new instruments are being developed. Measurements are not even in microns, but in angstroms. This super sharp diamond razor, now magnified many times, is used for making an incision on the intramolecular layer. That is why the eye heals much more rapidly than usual. Having created a whole entity of unique techniques, computer diagnostics, the most sophisticated instruments, Professor Fyodorov was able to make his most unusual idea materialize, an automated vision restoration assembly line. An operation and an assembly line, quite unusual. Yet, the level of efficiency and reliability is exceptionally high. This has reduced by several times the duration of the operation, as well as the risk of post-operational complications. All this has gone into a clear-cut and well-tested system which could soon rid humanity of various defects of vision. It has been estimated that for this, approximately 600 ophthalmological centers have to be built in the world. The task is made easier by the fact that such centers already exist. These are branches of the eye microsurgery complex built in the USSR in areas with a population of tens of millions of people. The first standard-type ophthalmological center was built in Cheboksary, an old town on the Volga where Sviatoslav Fyodorov, as a young doctor, first implanted an artificial crystalline lens. Its structure, organization of the treatment, procedure, top-notch equipment are the tangible manifestation of his system. The main unit of such a center is the operating block. This is where tens of thousands of people regain normal eyesight. The assembly line has a unique compact pattern. The operating tables are positioned like the petals of a flower, and that's why it's called the daisy. Such an ophthalmological center is nothing but a standard module. It consists of a hospital wing and hotel-type building. Everything is calculated down to the minute, and everything proceeds according to schedule. It seems that it is possible to make both a surgical as well as diagnostic assembly line. Once again, another first scored by Professor Fyodorov. The patients are quite pleased, for there's no need to go from one doctor's office to another. These instruments register the measurements together with the computer, and an electronic file is filled in on each eye. When the checkup is over, the computer feeds out the diagnosis and offers such a surgical pattern that ensures the best results. At one time, many rejected the very idea of an assembly line in medicine. They claimed that the patients were accustomed to the traditional pattern, one doctor, one patient. And to some extent, even for the author of the idea, it was somewhat unexpected to see the popularity of the return of vision assembly line. The patients try to come here because they know that a stage-by-stage operation excludes errors. After all, one surgeon monitors the other. Moreover, by resolving local problems, each surgeon more rapidly acquires an extra high class of professionalism. The system of Professor Fyodorov became a real sensation in world medicine. Specialists in many countries hurried to become acquainted with it. The Eye Microsurgery Center opened up courses for Soviet and foreign physicians. The export of equipment, instruments, and licenses has been arranged, and this also concerns original techniques and know-how. New ideas and thoughts are constantly being born here. One example, the use of silicon for making crystalline lenses. A silicon crystalline lens offers ideal plasticity. It is many times lighter than the natural analog and is translucent by more than 40%. But the main thing is that silicon is not rejected by the tissues of the eye. You must also bear in mind that with the passage of years, the natural crystalline lens loses its transparency, but an artificial one, never. The use of silicon has helped to evolve a new technique for treating high-degree myopia. In this way, once again, man is able to appreciate the great diversity of the world around him. At the beginning of this film, Professor Fyodorov spoke how it was necessary to make his system accessible to all people. The United Arab Emirates, Dubai. The eye microsurgery clinic has been recognized here many years ago. The only thing was that patients previously had to fly to Moscow. Today, such long journeys can be avoided. Highly qualified specialists from the Eye Microsurgery Institute have been invited here as well as to other countries. Their knowledge and professional skills have been highly appreciated. One other dream of Professor Fyodorov has come true, the dream of a floating clinic making voyages all around the world. This motorship clinic holds all the best that the Eye Microsurgery Center has at its disposal. Today, the inhabitants of Arab countries can hardly be surprised by anything. But even they were greatly impressed by this motorship. Its arrival was eagerly awaited by everyone so as to be received by the famous surgeon. Can you imagine how much confidence and energy are needed to create all that was created by Professor Fyodorov? He began with a small ward in an outlying provincial hospital and gave his all to uphold all his ideas. And he won, because all his beginnings were confirmed in practical medicine. Was it not so long ago that all this seemed but a dream? But as you can see, a dream has become reality, a clear-cut reality as the working of the floating clinic. A patient here goes through a thorough checkup in just a few hours. The operation is carried out swiftly. It is shortened to a minimum. A mission of kindness and mercy. This is the ultimate purpose of the Motorship Clinic, this part of the eye microsurgery complex. Beautiful eyes for everyone. This is the motto and the real future that opens up before the whole of mankind. Treatment, instruments, and training of new ophthalmological surgical techniques are presented by the eye microsurgery complex.